This is Mickey on Lou and Mickey's, coming to you live from San Diego. I'm here with Carmela and Nicolette, and we're going to talk about pasta. No, this is Pete Moore. We're on Halo Talks NYC on location, San Diego, with my two best friends who happen to be related from the Tahoe area. We're going to talk about KaiaFit. We're going to talk about being fast friends. We're going to talk about educating and growing the industry and turning the KaiaFit franchisees into the biggest badass players on the planet. Welcome to my show.
Oh, yeah.
Mickey and Louie.
Mickey and Louie.
Louie! Anyway, all right, we are really here with Nikki and Koral. We're going to talk about KaiaFit. We're going to talk about saving the planet, saving people, and changing lives, from gymnastics to snowboarding to fitness to biotech.
Let's do it.
Let's just do it. Let's start.
Let's do it. Let's dive in.
Let's start now. All right, here we go. So, Nikki, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Pete.
Amazing.
Honored to be
We met
here.
at a BFS event a while ago in some interesting loft that was, I think, somebody's apartment that turned into a social event. And then I gave you guys all the content for your trip home. Now you're riding electric, so you gotta stop every 2 hours. So I just feed you guys podcasts on every one of your truck stops.
We need you.
Takes a long time to save the earth.
Yeah, it does. So we'll do it. We'll do it together. Nikki, tell us about why you started KaiaFit and why you've been in the industry and devoted your life to this.
Well, that's a long story, but I'll make that long
We
story
got plenty
short.
of time.
Let's do
I
it.
got unlimited data.
Yeah, so we started out in gymnastics. We had a couple gymnastics facilities, and just watching the kids play and love, and just loving just being enamored with their bodies. And then you look over at the bench and you find the moms, and you find these women who just have lost their passion for fitness, lost the passion to play and music, and just really feel alive. And so Koral and I instantly knew we had a calling, and that calling was to help children as well. And how do you help children? You help women. And how do you help communities? You help women. And so what we did is we always have been high-level coaches, coaching not just fitness, nutrition, movement, mobility, all of that, taking it in and really looking at individual women and helping them uniquely find what makes their body thrive and what makes them happy. So we started, we actually live in South Lake Tahoe, but our gymnastics facilities are in Nevada, and we started with just 2 locations in ours, and the women were just instantly getting incredible results.
What was the name of the gymnastics location?
Tumbleweeds Gymnastics.
Tumbleweeds.
Yeah.
Are they still called Tumbleweeds?
Yep, they're still going strong.
Okay, and then let's pause there for a second and talk about KaiaFit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so so we started the women's fitness, which was Kaia. Yeah, so in our 2 gymnastics facilities, it just started growing organically, naturally.
But
women,
it was like a studio inside of it, right?
Well, actually, it started out just in the gymnastics facility itself. So the women,
as a program? Or?
Yeah, as a program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they would come in, and it was really functional fitness at the very beginning, right?
Yep.
Back in 2009. And people just came in and would work out, but I hesitate with that work out because it really felt like play, and that's what the intention was. So we first, our programming, we developed a coach training because we knew if we were going to scale, the most important thing is that we weren't just like out there teaching like group classes. We wanted real coaches to understand like how women's bodies worked. So we started with our coach development program. So we started with a certification. We started certifying coaches, and then, please.
Were they allowed to work at other locations, or do they have to work at your locations?
Just at ours.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So it started. So our coaching certification is KaiaFit coaching. So when you get certified, you coach at Kaia locations. Now, it's not to say that our yoga teachers don't teach other places, things like that, but in general, our certification is really to ignite and help understand our mission, our philosophy, our coaching philosophy, and how to get real lasting results with fitness, nutrition, community results.
Got it. So, Koral, to bring you into the conversation here, are you ready?
As I'll ever be.
Awesome. So this started out, I understand, because we had dinner the other night at Louis Mickey's. And I understand that the gymnastics center was built basically because you wanted to do gymnastics.
Yeah.
Is that correct? So all this kind of spawns out of your desires to be a gymnast. And how did that kind of turn that into something that now you're a part of, even though you have a medical profession as well?
Well, really, I mean, everything just starts from this woman's, like, I swear, she's just got rainbows and unicorn juice just spewing everywhere. So, I mean, there was nothing that we couldn't do. Like, anything that we couldn't afford, she ended up coaching. So she knew that she had a real tall, clumsy human being on her hands. So she needed to learn how to fall, started to do gymnastics. And in order to afford that, she had to coach it. And so once she coached it, there's nothing that she doesn't do that's 100%. So then, of course, they wanted her to buy it. So then she started her own gymnastics. Those little tots became big kids. They started to compete, and then it just kind of continued from there. So, and then again, very grassroots with Kaia as well. Everything that she does 100%. And again, someone came up and was like, you should do this. And so.
That's awesome. And it's
Yep.
great that mother-daughter, you guys work together and building something special. One question for you. When you think about franchising, when you started thinking about franchising, you know, your model is really unique because you've got gymnastics and you've got people, you know, that don't want to drop their kids off and then come pick them up. And then you've got adults and women that are waiting around. So you're basically trying to optimize my friend always says, what's your return on time? So like, okay, I have a 45 minutes or an hour and I'm going to actually devote this to myself instead of just being a spectator and chit-chatting with other parents that I don't really is not the best use of my time. As you thought about a franchise and you said, hey, this is working like in combination with each other, why did you not franchise a gymnastics and an adult programming kind of like intertwined?
You know, that's such a great question.
Thank you. That's why I do this podcast.
Yeah,
you
you're
know?
so good at it.
Well, I don't even know if I'm good yet because we're only like 7 minutes. But please, just step up to the mic a little bit closer so you can hear it.
You got it.
These words of wisdom that are about to come out.
So when we
Play
were
some
looking,
music. Okay, no.
are you going to sing for us?
Oh, no, I was going to play like an instrumental.
Oh,
I mean, I
okay.
can sing. What do you want to What do you mean?
Not sure.
Do you like Les Mis?
Yes.
I do like that.
Oh, you did?
Let's hear it.
Empty chairs at empty tables. And my friends, they drink no more. Okay, let's hear the words of wisdom.
Super impressive. Super impressive.
I love that album.
So as we started to venture into the idea of franchising,
Yes.
if you are to franchise the idea of gymnastics along with boutique fitness, which is KaiaFit, there's a lot of overhead, there's a lot of cost associated. And so what we wanted to do is simplify the model. So what was easy to replicate, what was something that we found brought in the most change in human beings and in women in general was the coaches, the culture, the mission, the community, the nutrition. And so even though Kaia was built out of the idea of gymnastics, we were still able to keep that functional movement. We were able to still keep the spirit of fun, of gymnastics, of the great music, but in a smaller footprint. So 2,500 square feet.
But on a standalone basis,
yes,
right?
on a standalone basis, yes.
So let me ask you this question. And this is probably part of like our strategic next dinner discussion of like, hey, what would be a great big opportunity for KaiaFit? So we worked at one point. Can I tell you a story? You got a second?
Please
Please.
do.
Okay, it's not about the
I mean,
passport.
I don't have a ton, but.
It's not about the passport. Oh, you're that
No,
busy?
we're here
What?
for you.
What? Your iTron's charging right now on a iPhone plug into my laptop.
What?
I don't know. Aren't you charging your electric car somewhere?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
our
Oh,
e-tron.
that's
Yeah.
true. That's
Yes.
true.
Look, sometimes a lot of people don't listen to the podcast I listen to. I know what I'm talking about. So I talk to myself all the time. I never stop and say, like, what did you just say to me? It never happens.
No.
keep
never.
rolling.
Fully in communication with myself, perfectly in motion. What I wanted to say is we were working on a Ninja Nation obstacle course. And they had 20,000 square feet. And all the parents would come and they would stand on the mezzanine and they would watch their kids on the obstacle course. So we said to the guy, why don't we have a fitness center up here so people can use their time more wisely instead of chit-chatting? Put like 12 ellipticals up here and like 5 treadmills, let them watch their kids, but actually work out. And then it's better for everyone, right?
Yes.
So would an opportunity be to go to these gymnastics, go to these obstacle courses, go to these rock climbing gyms, go to these, kids facilities? There's like indoor soccer where you can say, hey, look, you don't know how to run this type of operation. I know the demo of who's dropping their kids off. I'm going to work inside of your location because I know you have the traffic already. And I know parents want to hang out with their kids for a lot of different reasons, especially we don't have to talk about some of the safety or paranoia that people have, right? But a lot of people with all the crazy gun shit that goes on in the world, like I'm not leaving my kids somewhere where I can stay. Right? I want to stay close. I don't want to watch the development of my child, my future child. So I told you that story last night, right? Keep referring. I feel like I'm gonna have to send people like footnotes of like,
Yes.
Okay, when I get to minute
If we could have just had
451,
last night
we did
recorded, it would've been
451
perfect.
clip to the passport episode at JFK in LAX. This is gonna be like make your own adventure is what we're gonna call this podcast.
Love
So
it.
my point is, a lot of people want to stay.
Yes.
And and you have a solution that's already been kind of proven and built. So would that be a channel instead of saying like, hey, I want to open up a KaiaFit, which is awesome.
Right.
But actually the best optimization of KaiaFit is with traffic flow that's already happening in here, and I can repurpose your space, and I've got something that you can't just replicate.
Yep.
Well, and especially with the database as well. I mean, we've talked about it 100 times, of like whether it's better for it to be a brick and mortar and have a standalone, or whether it's not, that we go into each gymnastics school, because one, you have the foot traffic too, but you also have the database for all of your contacts,
Right.
Where we were when we first started it is definitely like the availability of, we don't have the liquid to start another gymnastics school with the X, Y, and Z. We're
You say
very,
you build a corporate, you don't want to build your own corporate location
At
or
that
take
point.
on debt or whatever. Yeah,
right at that
totally
point,
understood.
and we franchised in 2009, so we're in a different place at this point for sure.
Right.
And we're always open, we're always pivoting, and it's really just about like we continue to pivot every day of what is best for our community and our outreach. And a lot of times that is we constantly go back to thinking about having a gymnastics relationship, a karate relationship,
So I guess my point, and you guys were in my Halo Academy class, not to plug my own business school, but why not?
It's phenomenal.
One of the things that I anytime I go into a club and I see dead space, I'm like, look, you got to really think about your revenue per square foot. You got to think about how I can drive traffic and actually not have. Look, Starbucks changed every one of their locations, right? It used to be a place you hang out, you sit down. Now it's like a mobile order-taking delivery system, and their footprints are much smaller. If you're a health club operator or a gymnastics operator, you might have 60,000 square feet.
Right.
I need 2,500 square feet for a KaiaFit.
Yes.
Yeah,
And-
okay.
Yep. And we can share. So the beautiful thing about that as well is that gymnastics facilities are typically dark in the hours that women like to work out.
Exactly. So like I'm
5 a.m.,
optimizing my
6
space,
a.m.,
or even
7
going to
a.m.
like.
Yes.
We were talking the other day, 2 days ago, with a real estate investment group that owns a significant amount of AMC theaters. And in a lot of health clubs, they've set up cardio theaters or cardio cinemas. I don't know if you've ever seen these. So you go into
That's
a room
fun.
and they tell you on the front what movie's playing or what music concert's playing. You go and you do your workout. It's on a huge screen. So I said to the guy, look, you own all these movie theaters. Not as many people are obviously going to the movies. Take one screen or take two screens. Take all the chairs out. Let's put like 60 spin bikes in there. Nobody goes into a movie from 6 to 10 unless maybe like, I don't know, Harry Potter, has like an early morning special once every 3 years, right? Who goes to the movie? So I got all this parking. I got the best sound system. I got the best visuals. And let's have an entrance like it's KaiaFit at AMC Theaters in Hendersonville or whatever. Let's take one of those and let me help you generate some more
So
revenue.
good.
So let's do something like that.
So
So you
good.
got movie theaters, you got like Top Golf, you've got places that might have an affinity to say, I'm not generating the same amount of revenue. And also I got people standing around and they're bored. And I feel like there's a big opportunity, and maybe that's like, you've already done a great job here, okay?
Thank you.
Right? And so I'm just saying, like, how do we take this and say, like, let's catapult this thing, or let's take a trampoline, if you will.
Right.
Let's trampoline this business into like, hey, I need 2,500 square feet. Right now, I tell you that 2,500 square feet is generating you negative revenue. Right, because it's like you have to. There's nothing going on there.
Right.
So let me give you like a starter kit. I'm gonna bring in KaiaFit. I'm gonna market to people who are saying like, how do you want to spend the next 45 minutes? You want to stand around? You want to eat a pretzel, or do you want to get a workout in?
And that's why we love you so much. Is
Yeah.
like
Okay.
these
Let's do
amazing
we'll do a
ideas.
virtual hug right now. Okay. Awesome.
Squeeze.
And to our sponsor, Kleenex, tearing up. Let's keep going. So as you think about your a lot of people in franchising, you have to say no a lot of the time, whether it's, I don't think your location's going to work. I don't think your city's big enough. I don't think you have a business background, or I'm not comfortable with the interview we did. If we could get someone who has multiple locations and franchising like a 10-pack or a 20-pack and put them into their current locations, that to me kind of takes this. Once you get over 50 locations in franchising, then you could really reinvest in the business.
Yes.
Because you have enough revenue to have more personnel and systems in place. So I don't know if there was a question there. Was there? I don't think there was. Was there a question?
I didn't hear it.
So just freestyle right now.
I like it.
So when you think about KaiaFit and your best franchisees, what are they doing? What makes them different?
They're in the community. So they're part of the community of their coaches. They're part of the community that they live in. So whether you are a full-time Best Efforts owner or you hire an amazing full-time Best Efforts manager.
What does that mean, Best Efforts?
So that's like you show up. It's your working.
It's your day job.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
working. So whether you have an incredible manager, whatever it is it's that community connection with the clients, but not just in your studio, but in your community. So we really spend a lot of time, love, and effort into pulling the community that we reside in. Because sure, we have 25 locations, but each location is building a strong community, is building this, like wherever this KaiaFit resides, the people that are part of it are out in the community building a healthier community, building better children, building stronger families. And so what we know is the locations that are very healthy financially, revenue, community is their number one focus. It's getting out, knowing the people that you serve, knowing where they frequent, and inviting more people to frequent your location via the community.
So you've seen, Koral, go back to you for a minute here. You've seen Orange Theory hit workout. You've seen Pure Barre, seen Pilates. How do you articulate this is what KaiaFit is, and here's like what you pull from each one of those modalities, or what's the DNA of the program?
You know what? At the beginning, I was actually telling my mom, I was like, you're giving too much away. Like, we have to be able to like do one thing and then upsell. But really, I mean, Kaia is just like a one-stop shop. So it's meets everyone where they're at. So we have, depending on what workout it is, we have strength, balance, and Kaia. And so you can be a triathlete, you can be off the couch, and it encompasses everything from our HIIT workouts to bar, yoga, spin. It's everything in one.
So how many classes a day are going on?
It depends on the location.
Okay.
But there's normally at least 3 to 4.
8. Yeah.
Pardon?
8.
Yeah, like 3 to 4 in the morning and like 3 to 4 at night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. And are you certifying everyone who's teaching those classes?
Yep.
At the panel level, are you doing that through
Corporate.
Through corporate, and are you doing like video test outs, or what are they doing?
So there's virtual and there's in person. So
Okay.
of course we had to pivot a little bit during COVID.
Yep.
But there's a pre-test that they can take at any time, and then they have to do an in-person to one, to make sure that they drink the juice, they understand the Kaia ways of life.
Yeah.
And then also that obviously like, their techniques on point.
So I invested in a company, and we were doing franchising, and we grew too fast. We started selling franchises without fully appreciating or understanding, like, how does this business work, and like, what's the special sauce of the business? So when you do calls with franchisees, or you share information on, like, I don't know if you do this, you can tell us. A lot of groups right now in franchising are starting to put out, like, here's where you rank in new sales, here's where you rank in attrition, here's where you rank in total revenue, here's like your KPIs. So when you think about that, what are the expectations of franchisees on, and there's certain things you can and can't say about profitability, but how many members do you want a studio to have? Obviously, as many as possible, but what kind of is like, that person's sleeping at night, you feel secure, they're like, hey, they've got a sustainable business and they're doing the right things?
Yeah, with our like pre-sales, we open with 100. So
Sure.
our pre-sales, we get to 50 pre-sales. Then once we hit that 50 pre-sales, then our next focus is hitting that 100 by our grand opening. So once we hit the 100, pretty much, I mean, it's a pretty incredible ROI and business model. It's a very, as far as like fitness franchises, it's a low investment to come in and a quick ROI. So right around 100, you're breaking even, and then we double that number within the first 6 months.
And are you doing, what's the average monthly fee for a membership?
It just depends. We have like small Nevada towns, which are like $119 a month, and then in like the San Diego area is like $159 a month. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
And
reasonable.
is that for unlimited?
That is unlimited. And then we also have on demand. So the great thing and the easy upsell, because women are very busy, is that you can do all of these in studio classes, but your kiddo's sick, you're not feeling up to it. We live in the snow. If it's too
Right.
snowy, then all you do is you pick up your phone, your computer, and you can have that same workout with your amazing coaches via live stream. And we also have
live
on
stream.
demand, live stream
Yeah.
and on
that's
demand.
part of the membership.
Yes.
So one of the interesting things that came up when I was working on Orange Theory, first deal like 7 years ago, and started to like really understand their business model. So they get an average of 800 members in their studios.
Right.
And I was like, how can they service 800 members? And then I realized that their unlimited memberships are limited.
Right.
And that is like the key to their business model, because if they sold an unlimited membership at $169, I'm not saying your model should change. I just want to point something out for
Yes.
people listening, that they say, look, we want you to come here 8 times a month. We want you to come here twice a week. If you come here twice a week, like, you are going to get results. You're going to feel your body change. And also we're going to have the capacity to have 800 members, which is going to allow me to generate X amount of revenue, X amount of return. And I want this to be a sales and marketing engine. Yours is more of a community relationship based and, more of a safe place, where that's more of like, I'm running a commercial enterprise here. And
Right.
there's going to be churn, and I might not know your name, but I know enough of people's names, and I'm just going to keep this going. So my question is, as you look forward, if the average person comes 8 times a month, and even in gymnastics or ninja, like there were some ninja locations that said, I'm not doing an unlimited membership because my super user, I'm not giving them that big of a discount, because they come like 25 times. Like, their kid only wants to do ninja, right? So if I charge them $100, $200 and the drop-in fee's $20, I could get $500 out of that person because their kid wants to go there, and that's what their desire and their hobby. Whereas if I gave them $159 unlimited, you know what? They're like taking advantage of me. Like, they're coming in for like $6 a visit, right? And when I realized that of Orange Theory, and I'm gonna stop talking, is that $20 every time that door swings open for a workout is $20, right? So as you think about, like, what are you providing to your community? If I went to one of your locations in San Diego and I went every day, right, for 30 times, I'm paying like $5 a visit. That's got to be worth at least $20 to me for all the reasons why endorphins, I feel better, I'm stronger, I'm a positive light, everything else. So I guess the question is, like, do you think in the future we should not have unlimited memberships, or would you rethink the model? Or do you say, look, I want people to come in, I'm going to make money, we're going to make enough, we're going to get enough people here, and it's not about dollars per visit? I'm just asking you as an...
Yeah, no, it's super smart
Yeah.
questions, and I think that it is really important. And one difference between like us and Orange Theory is we tend to have more open space,
Yeah,
and
we're not
so
machine-based.
what we can do is we can have 30 women in a class. We can give them individual training in a group atmosphere, and then we also have, so if they do come, 5 times, 6 times a week, that it's not a problem because we also have yoga and same, you can fit 35
So you got
to
enough
40.
capacity
Yes.
versus like,
The only one
Yes.
that's limiting is
there is
spin.
so there is a caveat to what I'm saying is that Orange Theory has a certain amount of treadmills, a certain
Treadmill.
amount of rowers, and I can only fit
Correct.
36 people in a class.
Correct.
max.
Right.
I got you.
And
Okay,
if we
that's a good
did
point.
open in like a smaller, like Manhattan, New York or something where the footprint is much smaller, then that would definitely be the model that we would look at, is unlimited being 3 days a week. I think, 2 days a week, we do have a silver membership that's 2 days a week. But in general, if we had like a smaller footprint that really couldn't keep up with like those bigger class sizes,
right.
then I think that is where we would go for sure.
Got it.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So between the two of you and anyone else on your team, when someone does fill out an application to become a franchisee, one thing I liked about CrossFit and licensing is they can say yes to everyone, right? There's no, like, you want to do this? Okay, just become certified and you can open up and use our name. Whereas in franchising, you say no. I used to work with the Gold's Gym. We say no 95% of the time.
Right.
Territory's not available. We don't like your personal background. We did a credit check, a background check, what have you. So how do you think about franchising? Because obviously both of you want to do good things. You want to empower people. You want to let people use your brand. You're kind of flattered that, you want to pay me to use my KaiaFit? That's awesome. Like, I would love for you to do that. At the same time, you're like, yeah, near term, that might be a good idea. Long term, probably this thing's going to hit the rails. So how do you think about, without going into like being a fly on the wall, think about like, it's just not a right fit?
Yeah, we love saying yes. And so, but what we do is we say yes, and we can serve everybody in a different way. So very often, maybe opening up a franchise is not the path right then for that person, but we're able to say yes and like, let us help you start coaching. Let us help you become part of our community. Let us help you become, maybe dive into like our nutrition coaching program. So there's a lot of ways that we can say yes and baby step somebody in to really make sure that they're going to be successful in the actual like owning of a business, owning a franchise, coming into business management, doing all the things that they need to do. So,
well, and really that was a really steep learning curve for us because at the beginning when, like this, we didn't go into this for making money at the beginning. We came into this because we wanted to build our community.
Yeah.
And so that was a steep learning curve. At first it was like, sure, yeah, like you have what Kaia has 100%, but then we quickly learned that you can't just love fitness. You can't just love your community. You have to be business minded. You have to be financially savvy. And so that was a really steep learning curve for us back in 2009. And since then, it's unfortunately and fortunately, like more so, or I would say similarly so, like as the additive to our community, like we want growth and income for our franchisees, like building an entrepreneur that will be successful just mirrors what we are. And so we have to, now we're a lot more strenuous. We have to say no a lot more often. And yeah, of course, like we talk to them about nutrition and all the other things that they can do. But in order to be successful, like no one wants to be set up for failure.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, one of the things that I think is important for the thousands of listeners who are listening to this podcast right now, it will be, trust me.
Yeah. I drank the juice. I'm ready.
Yeah, we're in. Is that if you are in franchising and you are a franchisor, you have to wake up every day and your customer is your franchisee. Mm-hmm. And you have to wake up, and the guy from Anytime said this to me a long time ago. He's like, I am responsible for everyone's P&L. Kind of directly. Mm-hmm. Maybe indirectly, but directly, because they bought my operating playbook and I have to produce this playbook and I have to modify the plays.
Totally.
And every year's a new season and there's different ways that the field is structured and different competitors. And if I sign that franchise agreement, I'm also signing up for the franchise agreement on the other side, right?
Totally.
In licensing, you're basically saying, hey, here's the sign. Good luck. Pay me a certain minimum, and your upside, and it's upside for me. But don't call me if you're having like P&L problems because I didn't give you a P&L playbook, right? So as you think about the amount that you care, the amount that you want people to be successful, that you can really dive into their business, how much does that responsibility kind of weigh on you? And how has that kind of gone where people say, hey, look, you're kind of my safety net and you're my trampoline at the same time and I'm relying on you, and how much the magnitude of that?
Yeah, To
in
us,
closing.
Yeah, to us it's exciting because that's why we went into franchising. That's why we went into, instead of just owning our own and having like managers on the 25 locations, we love building strong business leaders. And we love just as much as we love exercise and nutrition, we love performance tracking.
Right.
KPIs, really looking at like P&Ls, and then that like marketing plan, that guidebook is like what we live. We wake up in the morning, we go to sleep thinking about it, and it is
so
like
in short,
we're born.
every damn day we think about it.
Yeah.
We think about every one of our locations. We are constantly, every single human being that we know and that we meet, we're constantly trying to think about who's going to better who. So as you are introducing us to people, we're doing the same for every single one of our franchisees. So every day.
That's awesome. All right, so in closing here, you got a quote that we can take back to our quote library and to our Halo community here.
Ooh, putting
Either
us
of
on
you?
the spot. So
Yeah, why not? I mean,
Personal.
you've been on the spot since I met you. What's different?
Amen.
Have I given you any lead time in anything?
No.
Yeah, so let's just do it.
I think, a quote that I like to live
Do
by.
that one. Do the Sayer one.
Mom, I gotta call you right back. Sorry about that. Is that enough time to distract the audience?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
We
Yes. Nikki.
our motto is strong bodies and powerful minds. So we like to build strong leadership and powerful businesses. And so it is like what we live by is strengthen your body, strengthen your mind, strengthen yourself as a leader wherever you are, whether you're
Love
a
it.
client or a coach or an owner. Is the stronger that you can lead yourself, the better that our world will be.
Awesome. All right, well, I'm excited that we are fast friends and we're going to conquer the world. And I love what you guys are doing. I love the energy, slapstick comedy to go along with it. And things are going to happen in this industry because people like you. So thanks for doing what you're doing.
Thank you, Pete,
and
so
we're
much.
going to
Having
make
us.
it even bigger than it is.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Go Halo. 1, 2, 3. Go
Go
Halo.
Halo.
Halo.